Our second contestant, Area 61, Hemant Marathe. When no one is watching. When no one is watching, Hemant Marathe.
Have you ever been to the Super Bowl stadium the day after the event? How about to Carnegie Center the day after concert, or to Broadway the day after a big show? Empty stadiums, concert halls, and Broadway are unnerving places the day after a big event. Will you feel the same thrill performing in front of empty seats that you felt just a few hours before when the venue was full and alive? Will you feel as successful if no one was watching? Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as you ponder those questions, let me start with a personal story. Just a few weeks ago, as I was getting ready for my daily wife-mandated exercise on the treadmill, my teenage daughter came up to me and said, "Dad, we need to talk." As a parent, your heart skips a few beats when you hear those words from your teenage daughter. As a parent with 4 daughters, my heart has skipped quite a few beats over the past several years. After my first such experience, I went online and bought 2 heart defibrillators just in case. One for me, one for my wife. After hearing those words, I quickly put on something warm, grabbed my defibrillator, and we went out for a walk. After a few pleasantries about how her school was doing, my daughter volunteered. "Dad, I got a C grade on a test today." For a stereotypical Asian parent, your child getting a C is end of your life as you know it. For my daughter, the problem wasn't so much her parents, but her older siblings. She has 2 very inconsiderate older sisters who got straight A's through high school and set the bar so high for any child who followed them with the same last name. It was the expectations from her friends and teachers that made my daughter nervous about her grade. Our conversation got me thinking, why do so many of us, whether kids or adults, base our happiness on expectations from others? Why can't we pursue activities and results that make us truly happy, irrespective of how we appear to the outside world? Why do we so easily cede control to somebody else to make us feel either ecstatic or miserable? Growing up, I was the youngest of 3 siblings. I was fortunate. Unlike my older daughters, my 2 sisters were very, very considerate. They made sure they never excelled in school. Thus, when I started, no one had any expectations of me. Even the smallest of success I achieved was usually met with a comment such as, "Wow, I never knew he was that smart." It is such a luxury to grow up setting your own expectations and be happy with your results. Our conversation made me realize that my true success in life depends on my ability to play to empty stadiums and concert hall, or even my own family room when no one is watching. My advice to my daughter that day: don't let anybody else's expectations burden you. Don't determine your self-worth based on what others think of you. That reminded me of an experiment Washington Post ran a couple of years ago. A violinist played for 45 minutes inside a Washington Metro train stations. Almost 1,100 people went by during that time, while only 6 stopped momentarily to listen. When he finished, silence covered him. No one noticed. There was no applause, no recognition. The musician was Joshua Bell, one of the most brilliant violinists in the world. He played one of the most difficult pieces of music ever written on a violin worth $3.5 million. Just 2 days before this Washington experiment, Mr. Bell played to a sold-out concert at a Boston theater where the average ticket price was $100. Mr. Bell was successful because he has the ability to play in both venues, even though one had a full house, whereas the other, no one was listening. Our success in life depends on our ability to feel happy, even if no one is listening to you. I wish all of you that true success in life.
We will now have 2 minutes of silence for the judges to complete their ballots.